Hi there. Um, so yesterday I was listening to Morrissey radio. I like Morrissey, I like the Smiths, and I feel like God was speaking to me. The Holy Spirit will speak to me through songs and stuff, and shuffle Morrissey radio. And the first song is "Every Day Is Like Sunday," which is a song by Morrissey. And there's a lyric in there that really stood out. It's very highlighted. Every day is like Sunday. Every day is silent and gray, right? And then after that song, there was The Cure, and the Cure song was In Between Days. And I believe the Holy Spirit started to speak to me about what it is to be in transition, what it is to feel like you're not really anywhere, where everything is just kind of silent and gray, like that Every Day Is Like Sunday song. It's like it's not quite bad, it's not quite good. It feels awful, but I also have something really great. I can't describe most things. It's a weird place to be in. It's a weird place to be in with God. I feel like what I'm gonna name this is the title of this video or whatever is the God in between days, where every day is silent and gray. This time of transition with Him. There seems to be like I don't know if this is mostly in America or something, but it's like we feel like we're doing something wrong if we're not like comfortably entertained or something. And whenever you get into a relationship with God, I think this is very much part of our broad way of thinking. And we go about trying to get closer to God in this way of consumption. So we want to consume, we want to learn in that way. But I don't think that you're going to learn from Him in that way, and for it to actually be well-rounded. Like it's not gonna have to be. It can't just be the God that is in this glamorous aesthetic type of way. So this is why I think He will bring you into the valley. He will bring you into the dry place. He will bring you into the place where it's not glamorous and there's nothing going on. It's like an old dirt road and you're just driving. You're just driving. You don't even have a radio. You're just driving. And you just, at first, the silence is not comfortable to you because it just brings up, right? You are reminded of all these restless thoughts and feelings that you have, right? You are withdrawing from needing constant entertainment and being comfortable. And most people seem to operate from that place. And your phone is like, notifications are going off, 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 off. And, and God can find you in there, right? And He can be with you there. But you're going to know a very different God whenever you were taken to a dry place, whenever you were brought into a waiting season, a place of transition, where every day is more or less silent and gray. It's like you don't know really what to do with it. We can be so distracted by the devil and our calling and all of these things, all of these things to be distracted with, that we can look to ourselves to develop. But you will find in waiting on God, the longer you wait, the only thing that is required of you is to actually wait. And everything seems to be already packaged in. Grace is already packaged in everything, where waiting is actually going to cause a death, as you find that like this restlessness that you had and this way of trying to distract yourself is not relevant anymore. You're literally transitioning out of a broader way of thinking, out of a particular way of thinking, the way in which you were conformed by the world to do it yourself and to put it on you. In the waiting, you stop becoming so distracted with these things. He has been the God with me in between days. And I will be with Him, and I will yell at Him. A couple hours later, there'll be silence. I got nothing to say to you about anything. Apparently that's okay. You don't think it's okay at first, then it's okay. Then it happens again. Then it happens again. Then it happens again. And before you know it, you're becoming intimate with one who is just waiting with you. You're becoming intimate with one in this mundane place. This ain't nothing going on, nothing's popping off place. And then after a certain amount of time, you might be put around people where they're in the same place that you're coming from. And you're like, I know what it is to feel like you have to be constantly entertained, right? Constantly focusing on something. But there's a God that you're going to know whenever it gets quiet. There's a God that you're going to know in silent suffering. There's a God that you're going to know where everything gets stripped away. Because when you were transitioning, there's like one door that's right there. And you're the only thing, you're the only one that's getting through it, not everything that you're carrying. And we come to the journey prepared like we were prepared before. We were conformed by the world to carry so many things, right? To carry so many heavy things. And he's like, you gotta put that down, you gotta put that down, you gotta put that down. But you don't know any better. You don't know any better. And then like putting something down feels like you're naked, right? Because you always felt like you had to have that thing, whatever it is. If you didn't have it, you were lacking. But it really just like started to bring up what you believed about yourself. And then everything is stripped down. You're with God. You're in this place of transition. You're just looking at him. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do? He's like, you're not going to do anything. At the right time, I will do it. I think this is the thing that doesn't make it into, like, if you were to take like the stories in the Bible, they all seem to be very condensed. But like a day to day with these people in the Bible, much different story. I think this is why I connected so much with the Psalms, because it was at least honest in the way that he experienced all of the human emotions. And I very much have felt in this place of transition all of my human emotions. And there was a lot of distraction whenever everything was popping off, or I was trying to be entertained here and there. But when it is stripped down and it's just me and him, the truth comes out. What is in me can't help but come out at some point, especially if I've been holding it in. And a lot of us are taught to hold things in. I know I've held things in. No, I'm gonna have a good day. It's a bright day. It's a bright day. Maybe it's not supposed to be a bright day for you. Maybe transition is not supposed to look like a bright day. Maybe that's what you actually have to die to. Feeling like you have to hold up the sun or something. I get it, man. It's wildly uncomfortable to just be with him watching paint dry and just being like, oh my God, how many times have I looked at these four walls? And how many times have we had the same conversation? But damn, something starts to happen. I can't describe, I don't know what it is. I don't really understand it. It must be his grace, because it's not anything else. He makes the ordinary things become extraordinary as you find that his presence is enough in those places. So the God in between days becomes, you're able to watch paint dry and be content where you weren't able to be content before. This is not an overnight thing. You will probably feel restless for a while. And then you will become one who just becomes comfortable being uncomfortable. And then there will be little pockets, little slices of heaven in the most strangest places that you could find, where everyone is overlooking it. They're looking at their phone, their entertainment, dopamine. But what are we going to do now that TikTok's over? The Reddit comment section is hilarious. People are just like, I guess we're going to have to figure out what it is to just be bored and okay again. And I'm like, yeah. But like, what is that with God? You know, as he strips everything down and you find that it's just you and him, and all the things come out of you, and all the things continue to come out of you, right? This this continual like being wrung out like a rag sort of thing. this being with him when it is truly just mundane, and the pin, what is that thing? Little you see him in those like ghost towns or whatever. I'm not gonna get it later. What are those things called? Doesn't matter. It's like that with him, right? But then you get used to it. You find you need to be content here, because how else are you supposed to get through this? And then you find contentment there. You need to have peace, and somehow peace shows up. You need to grow in him, and somehow you do grow in him, right? You become intimate with him when everything is stripped down. Not whenever everything is all pretty and glamorous and aesthetics, because you're going to rely upon those aesthetics, right? And they're going to be like clothing that separates you from him, because you're going to think that you need the clothing to be with him. But he will take you to a place, and this will be the place of transition, where those former things are stripped off of you, so that there can actually be intimacy between you two. And the intimacy will not require you to be any other kind of way than who you are. It's like you learn how to be with God as yourself. And you learn what it is to be with God when he is himself. And sometimes you will find that he being himself with where you are being yourself is so fucking annoying. But then you find that that's okay, that you're annoyed by him, and he's only inviting you more to be yourself. And the more you are yourself, the more he is himself, the more there is intimacy between you two. I don't have to wear the things. I don't have to hide this restlessness from you. I don't have to try to hold up the sun and make it a sunny day. I get to be with him in this place. The ordinary things become extraordinary. I don't think my videos are for entertainment purposes. I mean, I'm entertained because I love what I'm hearing, right? But like, if you're looking for like a quick, then you get what you pay for, right? Just like a drive-through. It's just gonna run right through you. But if you want something solid, something that you might have to, dig around, find something good, some kind of hidden treasure. Yeah, because I think it's there. I think that will be the things of God too. It's like it'll come packaged in these very, very ordinary like type of thing. You would overlook it every single time, because we're taught to look at all the shiny shit. And he's like, no, I'm over here. I'm over here. Yeah. Everyone overlooked me. I'm over here. So where you were overlooked, you're over here with me. God be with you in the places that no one is with you, where you don't even think you're with yourself. He's at the bus stop with you when there's nothing going on and it's cold as shit. Then that song comes on, every day is like Sunday. Every day is silent and gray. And you're just like, somehow you make it okay that it's silent and gray. And I think that's just something you have to experience over time. I think it's something that you grow in. His presence is enough. Intimacy is enough. It doesn't mean I'm not pissed at him. It doesn't mean I don't feel disappointed. But there's a space for me to feel what I'm feeling with him, and to be as I am with him. I get to be with him. The God in between days.